got some cool guidance today, lots of insights, but I wanted to share because it was a really nice visual that came in and helped me really understand what I'm feeling and where I'm at and what we're all going through as a collective right now, around the concept of kind of transitioning from 3D to 5D. And so imagine, if you will, or you could visualize like 3D being a landmass over here and 5D being a landmass over here, and there's this bridge that's connecting the two. And we're all on this bridge. We're leaving the 3D and we're moving into the 5D. And as you go on this bridge, there's almost like a bunch of portals that you've got to go through. And each one of these invisible walls that we move through, we transform. Our vehicle, if you will, looks like, literally to me, a vehicle moved each, like, let's say it was like an older car model, and each time it went through one of these walls, it transformed slightly to an upgraded model, a slightly brighter color, a slightly sleeker look. And it keeps moving through all of these walls as it progresses along this bridge heading towards 5D. And that's what's happening to us physically. And so our vehicle is our body. And so as we move through each one of these layers, as we transform, our body is getting an upgrade as well. Now, it may not appear like it is showing me in the visual as like an external look, but on the inside, that's what's happening. And for me, I'm super sensitive to it, and I am feeling almost like a vibration on the bone level, like an aching in my bones. And it's painful sometimes. And so this process of transformation is new to us, and our bodies are much slower than our spirits. And so our spirits could just like zoom and be there. But our bodies is almost like this parachute that's hanging off the back of this car that's moving along the bridge, that's kind of like, whoa, slowing us down, keeping us tied to time, right? Because our bodies cannot move as quickly. They wouldn't survive it. So they need time, they need support and nourishment on this journey. And the further and further we go, it's vital that we support them in the ways that they need in order to function and evolve. And so that looks like drinking a lot more water. Forget everything that we know about, drinking half your weight in ounces or whatever. Like, forget anything you've heard about rules around water or how much water not to drink. Like that, none of that applies anymore. And really tuning into what your body needs, and it's probably a lot more than what you're thinking. And you may or may not show like thirst, but it's just something we need to do now in order to operate. Because what the water does, I mean, we're mostly made up of water, but the more water we can help put into our bodies is allowing us to flush out any of those lower vibrational energies that can't go past the wall, if you will. Like they won't be accepted to move on, to move further down the bridge. And so those got to get flushed out of our system, out of our body, before we can keep moving. And so it allows all of those to kind of flush and flow out, any emotions that we're feeling, to release any stagnant energy, to release out of our bodies is super, super helpful and vital that we're drinking tons and tons of water. And then other things that are going to be helpful for us is lots of movement, increasing that movement as much as you can. I like to visualize and feel energy as I'm doing movement. So Qigong is a really cool practice that I started doing. But yoga, like whatever movement feels good to you, just do it and do more of it. And if you can do it with the intention of releasing any energy that you've collected, even better. And so that's really helpful. Meditations have been helpful, and visualizing, for example, staying more grounded is going to help us to be more present and kind of know what all's going on within us. Otherwise, we're just gonna be like, oh, I don't feel good all the time and have no clue. And so staying more grounded, meditations can be helpful with that. And if you can't physically be outside touching the ground, you can visualize it energetically, touching the ground, sending energy, any excess energy that you are ready to release that's not yours, sending it down to Mother Earth. She actually really loves that. It's compost for her. So that's something that she does naturally, is transform any energy that she receives, turns it into golden light. And so as we move along this path, something else that happens, and it's almost like what came through to me, for those of us that have been doing a lot of the work, the internal work, and really focusing on how they can evolve and transform and shift into this new way of being. There's some of us that are on, like, it kind of looks like a fast lane, and then all the other lanes, right? There's like several other lanes, and they're packed. Like, it kind of reminds me of a scene you might see in California roads, right? And then all these cars are we're all going to the same place, but some of us are stuck in all these lanes and moving kind of slow. And then some of us are in the carpool lane, right? And so we're able to go faster, but what happens as we're moving along is that we are literally like feeling, the closer and closer we get to the end of the bridge, to the other side, we start picking up more on the collective, on what everyone else in these other lanes are feeling. And so that's the lesson as we move through. I saw it as attaching to those emotions and feelings from the collective as like they used to put cans that go on the back of the cars after someone got married, right? Like, it looked like a bunch of cans I was dragging behind my vehicle, and they're attached to strings, right? So I've attached to all of these like cans that aren't mine. And what they actually were all these other cars. I was feeling kind of like collective emotions, lower vibrational energies, and I was misunderstanding them and attaching to them as if they were mine. But they're not mine, they're theirs. And so that's the lesson that we learn to, because the closer and closer we get to the other side, the more we will feel each other's energies and emotions. That's just how we will live in the 5D. We're more connected to each other and connected to the collective, and these lower vibrational energies just won't be accepted because everyone will feel them. And so what we wanted, it also, as you get closer, it will become less intense because the people that are moving towards this destination have also done the work. And so the collective becomes a lot cleaner, a lot less of those cans, if you will, to even try to attach to. So as we're moving along, if this resonates for you at all, like, the lesson here is to feel and try to discern whether or not those energies that you're feeling, it's no longer like, oh, am I picking up, individual energies? That's easier to discern. This is now on a collective level. So you might not like go to the grocery store and then recognize like, oh, that's not my emotion. Why do I feel like that? Now it's just feeling collective energy. So it can be hidden. It can feel a lot like your own energy. And so it's kind of this relearning process to discern that on a higher level. And to, if you're questioning, a good thing to do is to question it. Like, is this mine? And if it's not, then you can let it go and send it love. But we're just looking for acknowledgement, like acknowledging this is what the collective is going through. Might not be what I'm going through, but acknowledging what the collective is feeling at this time. And then letting it go, releasing it to the earth, and moving along your way.